Hello, everyone. So for Module 22, the discussion prompt is, give an example when you have experienced presence in a mediated context. Were you interacting with an agent or an avatar? And for my personal example, I feel that this is something that all of us has experienced at one point or the other. And my experience was dealing with an automated voice call. I was trying to renew my driver's license, and I was looking it online. Didn't want to wait in the long lines at the DMV, so I thought that maybe I should call and might get some more information regarding that. And immediately I was kind of faced with the issues that were related into the chapter, which was the issue with agents and it's the competence and trust. So as far as the competence, I was unable to have the full realm of asking various questions because it was only limited to answering very, very precise questions. And for the most part, it regarded COVID. It was just kept saying, oh, if you renewing a driver's license, it's going to take a long time due to COVID. And then I would continue to ask various questions and it would say, can't answer that. And that led to a lot of frustration and anger. And then as far as the trust, I was obviously a little bit non-trustworthy of kind of providing various information just because it was an automated person rather than an actual person. So then I kind of was just, there was not a lot of trust there. And then to make my connection of the realism with the agent, I would say the realism was the voice. It had a more feminine tone to then make me feel like I was, to an extent, talking to someone on a more realistic level or real world experience. But at the same time, it still did lead to a lot of frustration due to the fact that I was unable to ask the questions that I was needing to ask. And the question kind of goes a little bit further and talks about explain the degree in which you have had your attitude and behaviors change as a result of this experience. One thing for me, I'm a very interactive person and I ask a lot of questions if I'm uncertain. So for me, when I'm dealing with automated voice messages, I feel like I tend to be immediately led to frustration because of my limitation of not being able to ask the various questions that come across in my head. And to kind of create attach this to the Porter's effect. Sorry, don't know how to say that word, but it pretty much is when in virtual environments, your behavior is consistent with that environment. And to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more is in the beginning of the conversation. While it was a more feminine voice and tried to resemble a more realistic real life person, I found myself kind of having this interaction with almost like a robot in the sense of how they were communicating. It wasn't really like thorough and very smooth. And I found myself at times kind of subconsciously doing this as well. It was like my responses were a little bit delayed and like almost like they were having periods in the middle of them. Every word that I was having, and I kind of realized this afterwards when I was having a conversation with my mom directly after on the phone, and she was like, "Are you okay? Why are you speaking like that?" And it was because of that moment when I figured that out. And then as far as my connection to the presence, so I would have to say this was more of a social presence due to the fact that that automated voice message was obviously a computer kind of programmed to read this script and answer this limited amount of questions that it could. It's described as the virtual presence is perceived as an actual social actor, and with the uses of being able to speak back to the automated message and have it respond to you if it fits the guidelines of what it's intended to answer, then kind of leads the audience to then feel like they are speaking to an actual person. But at the same time, there is still its confinements and its limitations, which makes it relatively more frustrating on my part. I don't know. That's just my experience. But at the same time, with the uses of kind of a more realistic voice rather than using something robotic, it has for that social presence to then have that virtual presence feel more as an actual social actor than it is speaking to an actual computer. But overall, that is it. Thank you guys.